So I'll look at what's possible and what it could mean for the travel industry.
50 days to go until the start of the Tokyo Olympics. Organisers insist it won't be cancelled or delayed despite a surge in coronavirus cases across Japan.
Good morning. A win for...
in just 6 minutes. Now, the theatre sector has been one of those areas hardest hit by the pandemic, as most of the workers are freelance, meaning many were not eligible for furlough when theatres were forced to close back in March last year. But last night, a special concert at the Palace Theatre was held to raise money for those affected. The Show Must Go On brought together 18 different musicals and over 50 performers to the stage. Its host and star of Hamilton said it was an emotional evening.
Genuinely, I find myself already getting overly emotional backstage and feeling the tears come when I don't necessarily expect them to, because there's just such an emotional catharsis happening on that stage. And for the audiences that get to come, they get to share in that with us, and it's really exciting.
Well, the concert will be free to stream live on Sunday evening at 7 p.m. on the show's YouTube channel. Right, let's get a check on the travel situation.
You have a good day in the surgery. Thanks very much.
Thank you. Bye.
Love the wave.
A little wave at the end.
There are exactly 50 days to go until the Olympic Games begin in Tokyo. Organisers insist they'll go ahead 1 year after they were first scheduled to take place.
Well, our reporter, Matt Graveling, is at the Queen Elizabeth Olympic Park in London with some of the gold medalists from previous years and some of those who are hoping for more success. Morning to you, Matt.
Good morning. Well, I know we've got Tokyo around the corner finally, but let's not get ahead of ourselves, because who remembers the memories from here?
Good morning. Welcome to Breakfast with Naga Manchetti and Charlie State.
Our headlines today. A half-hearted approach.
The organisers of the Tokyo Olympics have ruled out a cancellation or another postponement of the Games amid a surge in COVID infections in Japan and a state of emergency in the capital.
10,000 volunteers have already pulled out over concerns over rising COVID cases and a slow vaccination rollout.
Well, let's speak to our Tokyo correspondent, Rupert Wingfield-Hayes. Morning to you, Rupert. So in normal times, with 50 days to go, a host city for the Olympics, it would be a hotbed of excitement. This time round, this is a very different picture of a city that has genuine health concerns and a major event just round the corner.
Yeah, that's right, Charlie. I think, you have to sort of feel sorry for the people of Tokyo, because this, as you say, this should be a moment of great joy for a city. If you remember London back in 2012, when the Olympics actually happened, people really got caught up in it. And I think that would have happened here. People were really looking forward to it back in 2019. And then COVID hit and it was delayed last year. And people thought, well, look, by 2021, hopefully the pandemic will be gone and we'll be able to enjoy the Games. But that just hasn't happened. Here we are in the middle of 2021, and the pandemic, certainly here in Japan, is very, very far from over. We're in a fourth wave. And as you said in your introduction, vaccinations have barely begun to really get going here. About 95% of Japanese people remain unvaccinated. They're doing about 500,000 vaccines a day, but that just isn't enough. They're just not fast enough to get a lot of people vaccinated before the 23rd of July. And so, the Olympics will begin without most Japanese people vaccinated, and that's why there is still this very strong opposition to it going ahead. Despite that, the IOC and the Japanese government, as you say, it's going ahead regardless.
Rupert, thank you very much.
Boris Johnson is facing a major Commons rebellion.
With an unbeaten 136 as New Zealand closed on 246 for 3. It was the first time that England had played in front of a home crowd. And as we mentioned, England bowler Ollie Robinson said he felt ashamed.
Offended my teammates and the game as a whole in what has been a day of action and awareness in combating discrimination from us, with comprehensive initiatives and efforts, which I fully endorse and support.
A little later this morning. That's your sport.
Just shows, isn't it? It's just not through sport. We've spoken so much about how employers now look back at your social media history and everything. It comes up, but nothing more that he could do other than a straight apology and move on.
Yeah, I think everyone's very aware, aren't they, of what they post, no matter, what capacity they're in. It doesn't matter, like you say, whether it's sport or just in any industry.
Absolutely. Jane, thanks so much.
Let's see, time now is 7:46.
The organisers of the Tokyo Olympics insist the Games are going to go ahead now, although we are seeing rising COVID infections in Japan.
It is causing uncertainty for the athletes with just 50 days to go.
There's one Team G competitor who is still hoping to defend his title. That is swimmer Adam Peaty, who has been keeping a video diary for BBC Breakfast in the run-up to the Games.
A legacy is something that you can't almost create. It creates itself.
Some days I absolutely love it, and some days I absolutely hate it.
I just want to be the best. As simple as that.
Come on, Daddy. Daddy.
Keep building, keep getting faster. Just 2 lamps in it and just chill out. So I've arrived in Manchester.
We will not be beaten by a panda. We will not be beaten by a panda.
So we've just got to wait in here and then we're free to roam, I guess. Even the coaches and stuff aren't allowed to shout because of COVID. So you're literally on the block and it's really, really quiet. I think you can hear a pin drop. It's something we've got to get used to, obviously for the Olympics. So the announcement was this week that there'll be no international visitors allowed at Tokyo Olympics, which is a little bit disappointing. I think every athlete around the world is just grateful to have the opportunity to race and perform. It's all about being positive and getting the best possible performance and hopefully bringing back that gold.
Hold it up. Spit in your mouth, that's it.
Really interesting seeing kind of behind the scenes, a lot of family life there.
Yeah.
And often the athletes say, don't they, that if everything's good kind of at home and that is, and in current circumstances, more than ever, I would imagine.
Important.
Have to have that sort of secure and then you could do your thing and yeah.
Is it wrong that the thing I got from that report was that I really think peekaboo is one of the most fun games ever? It's wrrong.
No. It works, doesn't it? Very happy baby.
Absolutely.
Very happy baby.
It was such a cute little baby.
And thank you to Adam and his wife for, letting us behind the scenes. It was lovely.
It was lovely. Carol and I play peekaboo all the time, don't we? See you later.
Thanks, Carol. 12 minutes past 8 Thursday morning. We're talking quite a bit about the Olympics today because they're due to start in just 50 days from today.
There are calls, however, from people in Japan to cancel the Games because coronavirus infections are rising. And if the event does go ahead, of course, it's going to look very, very different. No cheering crowds, fewer athletes.
So what's it like for those athletes who are hoping to take part? Max Whitlock is, of course, Team GB gymnast and one of those who very much hoping everything will go ahead as planned. Max, morning to you. Really lovely to see you in the sunshine there. I mean, I just wonder, give us a glimpse into your mindset. I'm not asking you to get involved in the politics or indeed the issues around the health scares, but I mean, it's not a normal build-up for you, is it?
No, there's been a lot of complications. Everyone's had a lot of challenges over this past year and a bit more. But I think, for me, I'm looking at it massively positively. I need to build up, I need to focus on my job. It's looking hugely positive in terms of the Olympics going ahead from our side. Everything's been put in place as much as it possibly can to make it as safe as it can be for everyone involved. But for me, I'm focusing on my job. I need to be ready. So I'm training as hard as I possibly can to make sure I'm in a good place by the time it comes around. 50 days, it's coming around so quick, which is really exciting.
Max, can you paint us a kind of picture of what you've been told about what your Olympic experience will be like as it stands, in terms of what you'll be allowed to do, confined to the hotel, how you get to the venues, that kind of thing?
I think it'll be very restrictive. It's not going to be the usual kind of Olympic Games experience in some kind of ways. But for me, I'm kind of used to that. I'm used to being, in a hotel to the training gym, back to hotel to the arena and back. So it's going to be, it's going to be very strict, yes. But, as people, as athletes, we have to be adaptable during this time. And it's just that, we're going to have regular testing to make sure everyone's, making sure everyone's fine throughout the whole period of time that we're there. It'll be limited period of time that we're actually allowed in the Games Village. So as soon as the sport's done, 48 hours and we've got to be back home. There's a lot of things that we're kind of going to have to, have in place, more protocols that we're going to have to follow. But that's part of it. We're lucky and I feel kind of very fortunate it's going ahead. We take it back to last March, it could have very easily been cancelled, but it's not. It's just been postponed. And it's
Talk us through the bit you're going to do.
If the mic pack stays on.
Yeah, of course. I fingers crossed. Right, let's jump up then. Are you going to try and talk to me while I'm going?
Well, no, I don't know if you can. Can you do that? Can you talk and do the pommel horse at the same time? We'll see.
I can definitely give it a go.
Where is the most strength coming from, Max? Is it all core or is it in your arms?
Core and upper body, yeah. You obviously have to be strong all over. It's all about balance. The mic stayed in, which is good. But upper body strength is key. So you've got to make sure you hold yourself up. We're on the pommel for around a minute in the routine. But your core, to make sure you can keep your body shape right, everything right, and kind of keep that going for the whole routine is tough. But that's what takes years of practice. I've been a gymnast for 21 years now.
If someone wanted to experience kind of what it's like, just that minute, like what would you do? Kind of, I don't know, stand with 2 chair backs and just hold yourself up on 2 chairs?
Then it's just practice. Practice makes perfect, that's all it is.
It's been absolutely lovely seeing you do your thing and we've now proved that you can talk and do the pommel horse at the same time. So, brilliant. Thank you.
Thank
and
you.
good luck. I mean, we'll speak to you before, I'm sure, but good luck with the training in the meantime.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think what Max was also saying is don't try that at home. Don't try that at home.
Yeah,
that takes 21 years. Don't try that at home. We're going to stick with the Olympic theme. Our reporter Matt Graveling is at the Queen Elizabeth Olympic Park in London. And he's got some gold medalists who are on the hunt for the next generation of Olympians. Yes, and we always want Olympians. Hi, Matt.
Hi there. Sorry, you were watching their technique, I can tell. We've got Christine, of course. She was a gold medalist in Beijing 2008, 400 metres. How important is it to get young people at this age?
It's really important. We all know that sports has real huge benefits, not just health benefits, but psychological benefits. You get an opportunity to really challenge yourself, be with your friends, make new friends. And so I think in terms of getting young people in, it's great. Luckily for us, it's a nice day today.
I heard you're all in a big WhatsApp group. Anyway,
that'd be a good WhatsApp group to be part of.
2012 gold medalist in the double sculls. Talk to me a little bit about how important it is to make the Olympics feel accessible to everybody.
Yeah, well, like you've spoken to Christine, it's all of us who have sort of been there and experienced that. It is the most incredible family to be part of, to be aiming for something on that scale, the Olympics, the Paralympics. It challenges you physically, mentally, it brings out the best in you. And you sort of want to feel that's not it is for a narrow few, but it shouldn't be for a privileged few. It should be for as many people who have the potential as possible.
It's a long shot, but I'm here to try.
Well, you know what? Trying is the first step.
Yes.
Right. Thank you very much, Naomi. Now, 2012, August the 4th, Super Saturday. 3 gold medals were won here at the Olympic Stadium behind me. Who knows, in a few years' time, maybe some of these guys could be picking up a gold medal themselves.
Matt, thank you very much.
Now,
it's just quite incredible what you guys do. You're on the pommel horse, so
last night, where injuries happen or events don't happen. Time now, 6 minutes past 8. Perhaps you're thinking about going on holiday. Perhaps you're wondering where you could go on holiday. There's that green list, isn't there, of destinations. Might be changing today, Ben.
Yeah, a big day today as far as potential destinations for summer holidays this year are concerned. We're talking about that update to the travel traffic light system. Thanks very much. Morning to you too. We're talking about those changes that could be on the way for the traffic light system that was introduced last month in an attempt to try to get some foreign travel back underway. Well, at the moment, you'll know that most of the world is off limits. Popular destinations, most of them are on the amber or the red list, and it means that people should not be travelling to those countries for holidays. Anyone else, maybe if you're travelling on business, for example, you will have to quarantine on your return. Well, at the moment, you can, though, go on holidays to countries on the green list. For now, that just covers a handful of places, but you won't need to quarantine on your return, even though you'll still need to take tests before you go and when you get back. And those tests can add hundreds of pounds to the cost of a holiday. And so later today, we're expecting that green list to be updated. Now,
it is 28 minutes past 8. It is time to find out what's happening wherever you are. We'll see you shortly.